good evening, New Zealand. We bring you this Wire Network news update on the developing story, reaction to the Warriors signing of James FisherHarris. My name is Jared Cronin, joined by Daniel Whatakura and Isaac Sauce. Boys, what a day this has been. What a day. Isaac Sauce, we'll start with you because you were disbelieving of when I hit the group chat saying that we'd signed a big fish. Bro, what was your reaction when you saw what had happened?
Oh, geez, so I had to be honest. It was more, I don't know. This just in. Fuck off, Jared. The sports correspondent's full of shit, and then jump on the socials. Just a silent scream.
Oh man, incredible, absolutely incredible scenes. It caught, like, not even working in a sports radio station, no one even saw it coming. It just plonked onto social media and just went. So it really did blow up. A 4-year deal for James FisherHarris. Funny that we were just talking about, a succession plan for AFB. We'd tried for BHU. We didn't get him, and now we've gone upgraded to JFH. What does James FisherHarris bring us in comparison to what Adam does?
First of all Warriors fans, you had one person on your list to replace Adam, or one realistic target, and even then, you wouldn't think that the Panthers would let him go. So the fact that FisherHarris is coming our way is beyond belief, right? Just absolutely, amazing. And an amazing signing. No disrespect to Adam, and look, we'll get through the differences there as well, but you couldn't ask for more. So that, I guess the differences, right, is first and foremost in the top 3 props, those two, with Payne Haas and the competition, they all bring different things as well. I think better said, if you look at some of the stuff flowing around social media, some of the promo that NRL have done, where they've had players talk about FisherHarris and what he brings to the team, what they don't like about playing against him. He is regarded as the hardest man in league, the most compromising middle forward going around. He's regarded as the spiritual leader of that Penrith pack as well. And he's taken them through to 4 grand finals, right? And, obviously one in the last 3. So it brings that steel, that edge, that mongrel that you really want defensively. It is a different player than Adam as well. And I think Adam in his own right has, I guess those beautiful sparkling feet, that big engine and motor as well, which they both actually have too. But, it's... You're splitting hairs on the differences, really. They'll have to play slightly different, how the Warriors do it, but shit, you just could not ask for a better replacement.
When was the last time you could say that a team let go of a top 3 player in their position and then signed another one to take their place? It just doesn't really happen that way, teams don't let players like that go. So for us to pull a coup like this, again, replacing a top 3 prop in the game with another top 3 prop is just insane.
It's also been lauded, both organisations, the fact that they managed to get this deal done and release it to the public with 0 leakage going on. That's something quite spectacular. Even in reaction to it, I spoke with Denon Kemp today because he was recording his show from our studios, and he was of the opinion, he was like, that might be the biggest signing, biggest surprise signing ever for all rugby league, and could well be a huge benefit to us after we've obviously lost Adam Blake, great front rower. A couple of years ago we also lost another great front rower, Kane Evans. So it's going to be
Matt Lodge.
Matt Lodge. Oh, weird. Jeez, how good is it, Isaac, to have the tide sort of coming in? Going back a year or two, we had people at the club actively trying to leave. So now we got people wanting in. How cool is that?
Mate, we were maybe a year or so ago just thinking of canning this podcast as well. But it's got huge ramifications for the club. And I've been thinking about this first and foremost. Okay, top 3 prop. Second of all, clear succession plan for captaincy for the team as well. Tohu, he's getting on. You've got a tailor-made replacement and then JFH. And third, it's just going to turn the club into a destination for players where they, exciting players, talented players are going to want to come to the Warriors with the roster that we've got. Even if, let's just say, SJ hangs up the boots next year, we've got the succession plan of players coming in, and then we've got this leadership group in the club now where the Warriors are not just the hottest ticket in town for New Zealand. Like, they're becoming a destination spot just for the NRL in general. It's fucking awesome. Like, the future is it's never looked brighter.
Just on that point you made about like SJ as well, so there is a bit of chat, and I think Adam Blair was interviewed about it. It's like a signing like that actually potentially makes Shawnee say, "I'll go again." Like, I'll take stock where we're at. What's our premiership window looking like? And
how are the
arguably,
calves?
Yeah, how are the calves as well. But arguably, you like go, "Ooh, I kind of want to be there, right? If I'm going to put my body on the line for another season, there's a good opportunity. I'll get in behind the fish." So, I guess going back to that point, I think there's you commended the clubs, but also I think both clubs should be commended. There's an element of compassionate grounds, right? So we all need to probably understand what that looks like and what that feels like as well. But we all know we have always supported players wanting to leave under compassionate grounds, right? And just goes to show you put the player first. You lose some, we had, and we were, I guess, there in the battle of losing out on that with Adam. But there is a karma component, right? Like, there is a little bit of goodwill coming back our way, and the fact that it's one, felt like 20 have gone that way. One has come back this way.
It's also been reported, one other thing as well. FisherHarris, perfect fit with the Warriors because he looks exactly like the Warriors logo. That's the face of the Warriors right there. Now, Isaac, it's been reported that he's been signed on a 4-year deal. Figures been thrown around that we've got him for less than $700,000, which is a good $300,000 less than what we were paying Adam. So how on earth do we come out of this by losing a top prop, bringing in a top prop, and actually making a little bit of money out of it?
I don't know how they managed to wrangle that, but full credit to the top brass at that club. The owners, the general manager, everything like that, and probably you'd have to say that Andrew Webster had a massive part of this with his relationship at the Panthers as well, and I can sort of see why it was so under the radar, probably because there's that mutual respect between Cleary and Webster. There's a connection there, obviously. They're probably, they've just done an amazing job keeping it under wraps and surprising the hell out of everybody. But the Warriors club, they've just done a fantastic job. I mean, you can't talk shit about the way the club's being run over the past year or two.
Just with that, I guess I'm not sure if that is confirmed. There is a element that the NRL may get involved as, and I'm just putting the unofficial auditor's hat on.
Oh,
because there is a bit of conversation around players kind of who are coming off deals and going to deals as well, that there is a fair value. Stops, I guess a combination of players going to different clubs on a cheap kind of situation as well. But they factored that all in. So I guess before the contract is kind of really been accepted, I guess, there may be some change to that. But look, if he's gone a bit less, then perhaps it's got something to do with the want to get out and perhaps what his deal was looking like. Because I think looking at zero off contract or whatever it's called, he was on $950 for this year. So his last 2 years with the contract might have been slightly less. But if it is that we get a little bit less, then happy days, more money to spend elsewhere. But yeah, I would watch that space because the NRL do try to make sure that it's not the Roosters effect, right? Where everyone seems to take less going there as well.
Yeah, I think it is important. Like, obviously, we're overjoyed that FisherHarris is coming, but there is probably a little bit of a downside in the circumstances, obviously, wanting to come back on compassionate grounds. So, sort of, feel from in that regard. But Saucy, the Webby effect, it is an effect, right? Like he's starting to not like the Bulldogs. He's just kind of gone about his business in a different sort of way. But as time goes by, we've got Dallin, Martinez-Lesniak, Te Maire Martin, Kirk Capewell. Now we're getting the FisherHarris. Bro, like, he's got obviously really strong bonds with his players from Penrith and elsewhere. But how big is Webby in this whole combo?
The web slinger. Just catching players left, right, and centre. Oh, yeah. He just must be a man of huge mana, I reckon. And just fit into the Kiwi mould. Just that. The energy he gives off, in his post-match conferences and whatnot, and the way the team speaks about him, the way the organisation speaks of him, of course, it's just going to reach out further and further. And again, compassionate grounds. Yeah, that's terrible to hear, but at the same time as well, I guess it's helpful to James FisherHarris to be able to come to a club where there's some familiar faces. Makes his life in transition a little bit easier. And arguably, he's just going to be on top of his game from the get-go when he gets here for next year as well. But Webster's just got... I think it can't be stated enough how important he is to this club. So the sooner we can sign him up for like the next fucking 10, 20 years, the better. I mean, I don't think people would argue if he had signed to a mega-long contract.
Sign him, yeah. Just like a blank check and a blank timeline as well.
Just on that, a great post from our main man Lancelot over in Germany, holding it down. He comments,
the German correspondent.
Did Webby do the PowerPoint presentation like he did for RTS, or surf and turf lunch like Capewell? Probably one-upped it and offered him a sack of kinner. Sharp Lancelot.
But you've also got a little bit of immediate fan reaction, and the moments straight after this was announced. I know you got something special to share. I believe from was it the SEN page or?
Yes, on the SEN page it was the captain's run actually. Because actually the good thing about this, and we'll go into it, is this broke around the time a lot of content creators, either players or big media, social media presences in the league community, were doing their content. So this comment was listed on the SENZ's SEN league page, and it was the captain's run. So that's Devon Kent that Jed was catching up with today, aka Beak, and Cam Smith, the GOAT. And it is from a one at Mr. Okasini. As a Warriors fan, I have a full-on stiffy. And he's had 42 likes, because I think there's 42 other stiffies going on, if not more.
Yeah. And I mean, it's reasonable to assume that that's in regards to the signing, as opposed to just general Wednesdays.
Just generally having a stiffy. Yeah. P.S. Happy about JFH.
Yeah. What? Huh?
Oh, happy days though, guys. Happy days.
So happy. Now, Isaac, we were. Well, look, let's go around us. Let's be honest. Honesty test here, boys. Going back, say, 12 to 18 months, who was calling for Cameron George's head?
It was indifferent to his behaviour, but fuck it.
Yeah.
I'd love to be proven wrong, Love to be proven wrong.
That's right. And considering the recently we just spoke about alternatives for for what we were going to replace Adam Fanua Blake with, and it's almost like we were I don't know, we were maybe just sort of discussing which variations of sort of mince we were gonna bring in, and we ended up getting a bloody filet mignon, which is interesting because. But who did you have lined up for your suggestions? You had Sipley, Tofa for Sipley?
Tofa for Sipley was probably one. And I was just thinking, you just need a stopgap. You need a 2-year stopgap just to blood some of the young players, and we kind of resigned ourselves to the fact that would be likely the case. And I think the players they missed out on, or at least it was rumoured to talk to, would have just been that. So, again, because you look around and you go, who's an elite prop that you can buy? Everybody's looking for an elite prop. Just a couple of things. I was looking at some of the reaction to those big social media guys and the great players that do content, and I think it was on Six Tackles with Gus, and it was at the very end of his show that they broke it as well. And like Gus said, I've been getting a lot of texts. That's must be what it be, but you could just tell he would be gutted because that's what the Bulldogs, he says all the time. What's he looking for? Can he play middle? Can he play a middle forward? Can he be a middle forward? They're constantly looking for props as well. So you had that. Obviously, I was watching Freddie in the eighth, and Freddie looked a bit I don't know, probably a bit jealous about it. I think maybe there's an element of it's making the Warriors serious contender. Joey Johns was like, oh my gosh, it's amazing, the most amazing news, and up as well. So just can't wait to see more and more of this roll out, because it literally stopped press today. I think everyone was commenting on it. It's on everyone's feed. So
can't wait to watch NRL 360.
Yeah, it's just huge. So, but yeah, we did have some pretty not average. We just had some pretty plan B, C, D options that we were considering, right? And yeah, we don't need to worry about that.
It just goes to show how far off the mark we really thought we could reach with props. Because I picked Stefano Otekemanu or Terrell May, but never in my wildest dreams did I even consider JFH. Because normally you'd think it'd be the first cab off the rank, but realistically, we thought there's no chance we could get him. So we rattled off a couple of names. I think you would have... UG, who did you pick? You picked...
I went with... I had Isaiah Papali'i. Joe Ofahengawe. Taumalolo. And then, yeah, as you say, expectations versus reality. So, yeah, in the good way, which is amazing. I know that not everyone was happy as well with the... maybe not with the news, but just with how it was kind of portrayed. Because Denon Kemp, he mentioned how Cam George said this is one of the greatest signings for the club. And Denon Kemp, was a little bit offended that, that he wasn't sort of regarded in the same ilk. So I reassured him. I said, bro, don't worry. You're one of the great Warriors signings, man. But
also, one quick shout out as well. I think you talked about Cam George, but we need to roll back and people calling for Robbo to perhaps take his money out and do something different after the Lodge debacle as well. But it was done for the right reasons. And when you're at a club that can make decisions like that quickly without having to faff about, and the front office is in tuned and right behind the coach, you get shit done. So big shout out to Joseph Maharaja on that one, just kind of posting that up and saying, where you at? Are you haters of Robbo? Because he's done a great job.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Don't forget
we
were
hurting. We were in pain for a good couple of years.
Yeah. We were there every week.
That's right. Tempers get frayed and harsh words are spoken, promises are broken, that sort of thing.
When love walks out the door.
That's right. When Lodge walks out the door. This took a weird turn. Okay. Wainewick News, reporting live. Thank you, fellas, for being our correspondents on this one. We will keep you up to date with whatever stories break. I don't know what the hell's going to happen next, but guess we've got a game to play on Friday night, so let's just focus on that for a little while. And we'll
one last point.
Oh,
Adam is still the man, and the Warriors fans got to get behind Adam, because let's just kind of respect the level of ability that man has and how much he's giving in for the jersey too. So we can celebrate hard, but make sure that we are back to brother.
Well, that's a credit to him as well, because we're celebrating the sort of level that we are keeping. Because before we felt like we were going to have a massive drop off, and now we're getting horses for courses, and It's a beautiful thing.
I reckon AFB is probably super stoked that he's leaving the club in good hands.
Yeah.
Just
No way.
imagine he does a backflip.
You didn't tell me. What?
Didn't tell me.
I'll stay. I'm staying. I
Bro,
feel good.
I'll say you stay. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Simmer down, calm down.
And then we pick up Dalmalolo for the spare 300 grand that we've got.
What a rotation.
Mind blown.
We'll leave you with that final thought, everyone. Thanks for joining us here on Wah Network News. We'll catch you next time. Up the Wahs and go the Warriors!
Who do we
Basking
need
in
now?
the ambience.